And to my mind, this is possibly the most important set of graphics because it gives a very deep understanding of what's happening on that core caste basis of the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats, which has often determined the final narrative in Karnataka politics. The big findings of the CSDS Lokniti poll is Vokkaligas seem to be divided amongst the Congress 34% and 36% amongst the JDS. It's not completely in favor of the JDS. Vokkaligas seem to be divided amongst the Congress and the JDS. 34% in favor of the Congress, 36% in favor of the JDS. Lingayats seem to be with the BJP, 67% intending to vote for it. Muslims, 59% inclined to vote for the Congress. Amongst poor voters, 50%. Congress is far more popular than the BJP, which only gets 23%. 46% amongst rich voters favor the BJP. 31% amongst the Congress favor the BJP. So the BJP is still having a stronghold amongst rich voters. Let's also give you more data before we get into analysis and a discussion on it after those 5 big points. Preferred party for various issues. Now the question that was asked is, in your opinion, which one of these parties is A, more corrupt? Congress 35% respondents, BJP 59% respondents said BJP is more corrupt, only 3% said JDS is more corrupt. More nepotistic, 30% said Congress is more nepotistic, 59% said BJP is more nepotistic, 8% said JDS is more nepotistic. More faction-ridden, 30% said Congress is more faction-ridden, 55% said BJP is more faction-ridden, 12% said JDS is more faction-ridden. Best for Karnataka's development, 47% said Congress, 37% to the BJP and 14% to JDS. Maintaining religious harmony, 49% to the Congress, 34% to the BJP and 14% to the JDS. Protecting Karnataka's interests in the border dispute with Maharashtra, 40% for Congress, 40% for BJP and only 14% for the regional party. That's the first big set of numbers we're throwing at you this evening, and these numbers to a political observer in Karnataka are extremely important, Vishnu.
Absolutely.
Because the Vokkaliga vote, and I'm going to take it point by point, the first point, the Vokkaliga vote being divided between the Congress and the JDS, much has been spoken, Sanjay, about the BJP-Congress battle. This is a revelation into the JDS-Congress battle in the old Mysore region. How significant do you think this number is?
I think, Veera, you have already, your statement already has a reply hidden in that. Because the contest in Karnataka at this moment seems to be between BJP and Congress, so all those voters who don't want to vote for BJP seems to be uniting in favor of Congress, and that seems to be happening with regard to the Vokkaliga vote. Vokkaliga vote used to go to JDS in a slightly bigger proportion if we look at the earlier election. At the moment, 10 days before election, remember this is a survey which has been conducted 10 days before the polling. At this moment, it seems that the Vokkaliga vote is divided. Still JDS has an edge, but a sizable number of them intends to vote for Congress.
And, in fact, let me just go across to Professor James Banner. I mean, it is interesting, the Vokkaliga situation, and the fact that this survey throws up the split between the JDS and the Congress, not just in favor of the JDS, it's 36 for the JDS, 34 for the Congress. But if you look at some of the other factors, and what are the other points? Lingayats, this was widely expected to be with the BJP, so no surprises over there. Muslims, 59% inclined to vote for the Congress. In terms of voter preference for different castes and class, what, Professor Manna, strikes you as being really significant here?
The figures for the Vokkaligas suggest that the JDS may struggle to maintain its usual group of seats in southern Karnataka, and the Congress may make gains there. The BJP will struggle in southern Karnataka to make gains. The 59% of the Muslim vote for Congress seems to be good news for Congress. They had worried that the JDS, which has a Muslim president, might take away some votes, and that small parties representing Muslim interests might also take away votes. It's very significant, I think, that among the poor who do turn out to vote in significant numbers, half of them are in favor of Congress and only 23% for the BJP. And then the numbers that you gave on corruption, on faction-ridden, on the best for development and the maintenance of communal peace, all of these seem to give Congress a significant edge.
Right.
So I think
Right.
on the whole, the poll is good news for Congress.
Professor Manor, I just want to get Sugata Srinivasa Raju, and just to introduce to all our panelists, he's Deva Gowda's biographer as well. Sugata, quick question to you on if the JDS is fighting a battle for survival, and this kind of a number, what do you think the import is for the JDS in these elections? Quick reaction from you and Chandan Gowda before we go to the next set of graphics.
Yeah, the 36% that you showed, I mean, the Vokkaliga graph that you showed, 36% preferring JDS. I think in the last week of the elections, probably it will go up a little more because Mr. Deve Gowda himself has been campaigning. If you look at the aggression with which he has been campaigning in the last few days, I think that is going to make a significant difference. And he has also countered Modi pretty, aggressively 2 days back.
Right.
That is in Chanpatna. So, that may grow up, but, by and large, the Congress seems to have, gained quite a bit. And that's the trend that we have been hearing too. So there's no surprises here.
I just wanted to go across to GVL Narasimha Rao. Sir, one of the key findings over here is on the entire issue of more corruption, right? And 59% of those polled say that the BJP is more corrupt as opposed to 35% saying that the Congress is corrupt. Now, in an election which has been fought at one level, on the entire issue of corruption, at least that's what the Congress says, if you've got data which actually suggests that people believe that the BJP is more corrupt, how would you respond? I mean, how significant is that in terms of your campaign?
Good evening to you, Vishnu, and all the panelists. First of all, let me sound a word of caution on the poll itself. Am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, let me sound a word of caution on the sample itself. In an election, which is actually a three-way contest and the complexion varies across regions, a sample of 2,000 is too small. I have been a pollster and there are occasions where we work with small samples, but a prediction closer to the election in a state where margins of victory are very small, and it's a three-way contest, I think one needs to really examine poll results, and one needs to look at them with a great deal of circumspection. So that's the first caution I would give you. And because when you break down that sample into Vokkaligas, Lingayats, you are looking at a sample of 300 people, 400 people, that's the numbers you have. So these, and to assess trends over time with that kind of a sample, could be is fraught with serious risk.
Let's get a reaction to that. In terms of the size, the point that he mentions, is that a concern?
For GVL Narasimha Rao ji, it may be a concern, but I would agree that if the sample is slightly larger, but I think GVL Narasimha Rao would also agree that suppose you have taken a sample of 5,000 or 10,000, would that have meant sample being far more representative or the data having far more confidence on the data? We have calculated the margin of error, GVL Narasimha ji, and this is less than 2% margin of error. This is 1.79% margin of error. So we all agree that these are estimates, but the estimate doesn't mean that if the data is saying 40%, it would be in the range of say 20% or 60%. We are getting, through the survey, we come more or less close to what is the situation on the ground, and that is what this survey has been able to capture.
No. You see, Vishnu,
Yeah.
having been a pollster, a poll of this size a few months before elections is all right because it gives you a trend well before the campaign begins. But now this is possibly your last poll, and a small sample of this size can really be a matter of great challenge.
Okay,
but anyway,
right,
Sanjay
right.
has
Point,
it.
Point taken, sir.
No, you see, if let me tell you, if elections can be predicted with less than 2% margin of error with 2,000 sample, and then we are wasting thousands of crores of money in conducting elections. So I don't think we can satisfy ourselves.
Okay,
Mr. Rao,
we get the point.
we're
We
not
get that.
making a prediction on this.
Yeah.
It's just a directional trend that we are trying to assess as far as this is concerned. Now,
Yes.
now, quick
Broadly,
reaction.
I will answer the question that Vishnu has posed. Okay, with all the caveats. I think let's carry this discussion forward. Okay. In Karnataka, there has certainly been a campaign against the BJP's government, and I have been in Karnataka myself. It's been somewhat an issue with the urban electorate. It does not really mean, it's more of an equalizer in the rural electorate.
But let me
Well,
ask
I'm
you
sure,
one more question, GVL Narasimha Rao, because it affects the BJP before we get the other parties as well. I spoke about corruption, but even if you look at the entire issue of nepotism, where they're saying that 59% of those polled, and it's the same statistic, corruption and nepotism. Nepotism, 59% of those polled say that the BJP is more nepotistic. You know, your policies have been against parties with dynasty, and yet there are viewers, I beg your pardon, voters over there in this poll who say that you are more nepotistic. How would you respond to that?
I think it simply sounds. I can only say it's completely disbelievable. It's not believable. The BJP cannot be compared with any. See, if I don't know if the same poll said JDS is a democratic party which runs on does not have any dynastic. Congress is a party which runs on non-dynastic principle, then I think I will question the poll itself. I don't know whether it was a motivated poll, because if JDS is a party which is a son and father and son party, the Congress is a dynastic party. Okay, if there are some people in the BJP also who may have got tickets and their fathers may have been in politics, but that's a very limited number.
Okay, all right. So
this is a matter of perception.
We'll just move on.
This is a matter of perception.
And we'll
let
come
me just
back to
move
in a
on
second.
to the Congress as well. And I think we should just get a quick Congress reaction, because there are other issues as well that need to be focused on. It is interesting though, as Sanjay Kumar, that JDS is rated as 8% nepotistic. A party which is run by one family is rated as 8% nepotistic.
No, Veera, just to clarify, what happens in the survey, since the entire mahal is between BJP and Congress, so the people's responses get
linked to those parties primarily.
Yes, JDS gets marginalized because people are not looking at JDS as the contender for power. And that is why, and this is perception, this is not factual.
Got it. Let me just shift focus and ask Rajiv Gowda this question, just taking the focus away from corruption and nepotism and faction-ridden alone. The Lingayat vote that the Congress seems to have gone after in this election, 67% according to this, and this could be the crucial election factor in Karnataka, the two caste votes. 67% say they are intending to vote for the BJP, which is a suggestion that the Lingayat vote is firmly with the BJP. And this poll was taken just after the Shettar exit, the Savdi exit, and all the controversial issues that the BJP had to face. What do you have to say for that?
First, I want to point out that Mr. Narasimha Rao is hiding behind technicalities. Whether you poll 2,000 people or when you poll 6 crore people on election day, you will find that you will get the same numbers. Yet people are going to reject the BJP as the most corrupt party. 59% is an underestimate. Okay, the point about the Lingayat community is a surprise to me. What we are hearing from the ground is that there's a tremendous amount of backlash against the BJP for sidelining an entire cadre of senior BJP Lingayat leaders, Yediyurappa and Shettar being former chief minister, Savadi being a former deputy chief minister. They sent Somana, another senior Lingayat leader, to fight in 2 other constituencies where he's not going to win. It's as if there's a clear, Peshwa ploy to essentially eliminate a Lingayat contender from chief minister possibilities. The other aspect, of course, is on the dynastic front. You can see that the BJP is the most hypocritical party when it keeps mouthing these statements against dynasty or corruption or whatever the Prime Minister likes to, the latest, falsehood that he likes to propagate. The basic point is that they are filled with dynasties, whether it's the Yediyurappa dynasty, whether it is the Jarkiholi dynasty, Reddy brothers. Here, Tejasvi Surya and his uncle are contesting.
All right.